Hello, family, and welcome to another session of Double Edge in the Man Cave. My name is Kurt, and I'm going to be starting us off today. Looking forward to a great session here in the Man Cave. As usual, I'm here with my brothers in faith. I have Stefan on my right. How you doing, Stefan, my man?
I'm good. Howdy.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. And to my man, the Rose.
What's up?
And Brandon over there, my man, showing all the muscles. What's up, Brandon?
What it do? What it do?
What it do, boys? What it do, guys? Hey, man.
What the business is, okay.
I like what you just said, what the business is, because that's what we're talking about today. Money. Now,
Time to get paid.
trying to get paid, right? I heard somebody make a statement the other day. They said the best product ever sold on this planet is Jesus.
The best product ever
The
sold.
best product.
But Jesus was for free, though.
Hold on. Hey, ain't that something?
Explain being sold. What do you
Ain't
mean
that
by
something? So I said, what do you mean by that? He said, we sell Jesus all the time. The most expensive book is the Bible. The cheapest book is also the Bible. And he broke down a couple of things that he has observed within Christendom, which lends or leads to a sort of wealth generation through faith and in religion. So we had a conversation, but from that conversation I had with a gentleman, it got me thinking about Christian finances. Like, how should we as Christians view wealth, generate wealth, and use wealth? And the Bible says the Lord has a cattle on 1,000 hills for his children. So are we owed things like, we're talking about even the California Reparations bill, Brandon. I think we spoke about that the other day. I mean, what do you got to say about it?
I just recently heard about it. I didn't get a chance to look into it completely, but I heard about it. It was interesting to me about California possibly trying to pass this bill for reparations to
reparations for slavery
within the U.S. Yeah. My thing is, if that were to happen, what does that look like, and how do we go about it? And the Christian aspect of it, I've heard people often say that, your life should be fine, everything should work out, you should be making, quote unquote, good money, following God, and God's going to provide everything for you. But let's be real, that's just not reality, right?
Say that one more time.
Right.
God gonna do what? Say that one more time.
God's supposed to provide everything for you, so you shouldn't have to worry about anything.
Oh,
when
God,
it
like
comes
God will
to
provide all our needs.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Right. But does that actually happen?
It does.
My man Stefan got to
but
say.
not like that. First of all, God doesn't promise no problems, doesn't promise whatever. And he does provide. It just doesn't look the way people would expect it to look. Like, you're not, that God providing doesn't mean you're going to have the job that gives you all the money that you need, all your bills are always going to be paid. That's not what God provides means, He gives you the means to accomplish those things, to get that job and whatever else. But that doesn't mean you're not going to have financial problems. Yeah. That doesn't mean you're not going to struggle. Yeah. Like, I don't know why anybody would even say that.
Let's say money was an issue and we were among the wealthy, right? We were that top 1% of America.
Yeah.
How would we spend money differently from a non-believer? Like, what would be the difference?
How would we? Probably it wouldn't be any different. How should we? Definitely giving back to the church, the 10% or whatever you do, and then just using that money to further God's kingdom. However that looks. Missions, charity to orphans and widows and things, taking care of the elders.
I mean, that sounds good, but let's be real.
Yeah,
let's say this California bill, say it come down to Florida, right? Florida decides to pass a bill, we all get a nice fat check.
Well,
you really gonna give 10% back to the church?
What? We should.
We
should.
My wife and I have talked about this a billion times. If we were to ever win the lotto, we don't really play it, but if we were to ever win it, that's the very first thing that would happen. First of all, we're getting the lump sum. You're not paying me over years. I ain't got time for that. So whatever it is, we're taking 10% of that and we're giving that to church. Like that's the very first
So you
thing
give
we're
it to
doing.
one church, a bunch of churches, or
Well, we'll be giving it to our home church,
Okay.
and then we'll probably give a lesser percent to my old church, because that's where
Okay.
we started or whatever. And then after that, we're giving back to, like, we're not using that money for us for real. Like we're giving to the churches, and then we're giving to the people who have helped us get here.
Okay.
Just to go back to my own
But
point.
if you won
like
the
I said,
lotto,
God
who
provided.
helped you win the lotto? Who helped you get there?
Who helped you win the lotto?
No, I'm saying to get to where we are, because we have cousins,
Yeah, like
parents,
parents and
uncles,
all that.
aunts,
Okay.
like they
So you give to family.
They've helped. Or friends, whoever,
Well,
because
well,
we've
you
been
know-
in time. We've had times of need.
I understand.
And there are people that have been there for us.
So you're gonna sow back, or you're gonna give them
Absolutely.
return. I
And
understand.
then after that, now we're working on debt and whatever else. And it's good to just say that, but I know that that's exactly what we would do, because that's the only thing we can do with
But
it.
when you come into money, from what I've heard, you got to change a lot of things because you become a target.
Oh yeah.
You become a target.
Because
So
people come out of the woodwork. Now
Exactly.
you got a third cousin you never heard before.
not only that, you can get a tax. Like even with this reparation bill, like what really is our view on reparations? Because let's say you get $5,000, and who's going to get the $5,000? What are going to be the criteria
That's the question.
that we set up?
Like who?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
listen, slavery happened. It was a terrible thing, and getting something back for it would make sense. I don't have a problem with that. But it's been too long.
Okay.
Like who wouldn't get it would be the easier
okay,
question.
Like, who would qualify to get
right?
the
Exactly. Because like
reparations?
there's so many.
How do you-
It's
how do
been
you trace
diluted. How do you
the-
figure that out?
I got one criteria: the lighter you are, the less you get.
So who?
If this was
The
not a
lighter
Christian
you are,
show,
the less you get.
we'd be like, Negro, please.
Right, but that's what I'm saying though, because my mother is.
Hold on, the light-skinned people had to stay in the house. We was in the struggle too.
We were.
Exactly.
We was a
We
part of the
were,
Underground
though.
Hold
Railroad
on,
too.
hold on.
Hold on. We helped y'all
Hold on.
get to the Underground Railroad. Stop
Hey.
tripping.
Bro,
Hey.
I built the railroad.
I was outside building it. I was outside building the railroad.
We had to
Okay.
distract master
Look,
while y'all weren't
look,
running the back. So y'all
look.
stop playing.
Look, if you ask any person who understands what that Kunta Kinte, they're gonna point out.
I'm just joking.
I'm just my problem with reparations is just that, like, too many people would, because somebody, however far back you have to go, is gonna find a black person in their family, in their blood, like it's there.
But on the other side of that, though, I think like the people that benefited from slavery, their whole generations are still benefiting from it now. It trickled down to them after
Right.
hundreds of years. So they're
think so,
like,
too.
and that goes far and wide, from businesses to families.
So are you suggesting they should be excluded from reparations?
No. I'm just saying, because you're asking who would get it. I'm saying, man, maybe everybody should get it. Because on the flip side,
How does that? Then you haven't.
No,
It's not really reparations if everybody's getting it.
I mean, not everybody. I mean, like
black
people of
person
color,
problem.
like black
People of
people,
color.
black people. Yeah.
right, but
Think about how that would have affected if we've already received it and received that compensation for
Right.
the losses or whatever. Where would we as a community be at now
The thing is,
if we had that extra monetary value?
right. It would be a totally different world.
Of course.
I think it depends. So, if we had gotten in America, for example, the 40 acres and a mule, would have given us the industrial advantage.
Right.
But I think to have given us cash would not have helped, because it does make inflation, it does make prices go up. And I think even today, when you look at who is going to get, now, what I'm going to say might not be popular, or I'm going to limb, as we say, you got black billionaires. Do they get $10,000 too?
Why not? They're still black.
Because they don't need it.
I agree. But isn't reparations would be a way to repair what was broken and help the people who need it? Because if you're a black billionaire, then I just feel like
Do you actually need it for real?
that is not going to be a benefit to your life. You already got billions,
But
probably
you can't,
providing.
No, but you
you-
cannot disqualify people because of what they have.
No,
You know
I'm
what
not
saying?
disqualifying. But I'm saying the reparations cannot be just a monetary advantage.
It probably shouldn't be money.
It
period.
shouldn't be money at
It
all.
can't.
Exactly.
It should be.
It shouldn't
I
be.
mean, it could
Yeah.
be land. It could be stocks. It could be.
But that's
you
still
know,
money.
But that equals
Money.
That equals
No,
monetary.
I feel
value.
like it has to be.
If you cash it out.
Well, that's money but so I feel like for people like the Oprah Winfrey's, the Carters, Jay-Z and his family, those people, they're already billionaires.
So what would it be then if it's not?
I feel like for Beyonce, people like that, probably it's an opportunity, or probably for her and her legacy to go on. Well, she already got that because they Oscar winners, whatever. I mean, Grammy winners. But for black people with wealth, with financial means, I think probably providing an opportunity for them to get access to more power.
How much power are you trying?
Right, like, I mean, they
Let me finish.
they already got star power.
Okay,
What kind
you're
of power
right,
are you
you're right,
looking
you're
at?
right. And that is why you're right. And that is why this is such a very unique and complex thing to really manage, because I'm thinking probably it's hard because I mean
So all right, so
I
put
think
put
it's
yourself in
simple.
their shoes.
What
If
would
you
you want?
if you were already a wealthy
black person.
black person in America, and they decide to pass this bill, would you not want to partake in receiving
No.
that portion of their 40
If
acres?
I
or-
was a black millionaire, will you give me 10 grand for?
Bro,
I mean, that's a drop,
well,
drop in the
rich
bucket.
people always want more money. They
Yes.
don't refuse money.
No, hold on. But there's the difference between money that is useful and money that is used to do something against you. So, for example, it would not benefit wealthy, like a Tyler Perry and people. Those people give away more than that.
Well,
For
okay,
them
so
to take
so
10 grand, probably
so,
for
so
charity.
you're saying 10 grand, right?
It
Why are
won't
we
be
why are
10
we
grand.
capping it there?
You know, it won't be 10
E-
grand.
Exactly. So I'm like,
This is
I don't
why.
think it would even
This is
be
why
that
I'm capping
much.
it there. This is why I'm capping it there.
if we were all getting $1 million, you don't think a millionaire would take
Yeah.
another $1 million?
Yeah, but I'm being realistic now. I'm being practical. There are 33 million black people in America.
I mean, practically we wouldn't get
Okay.
anything.
So if we all getting $1 million, right? That's trillions of dollars. They ain't gonna give us no trillions.
Listen,
Come on, man.
but again, like now we're talking money. Let's bring it back to reparations. If that's the goal, if that's the point, to sort of make up for whatever has happened, money needs to be taken off the table. It needs to be changes in policies and things where
But we
people
already have
are still
policies.
being affected. We do.
But, so this is what I don't like with policy. Policy has no impact until it's been implemented. Like a lot of the laws that really, let me finish. A lot of the laws that impact black people, when you look at what is written, it's not written against black people, like stop and frisk. Stop and frisk was not written against black people, but was implemented against us.
Correct.
So what I'm saying is that I know we like to talk about policy, but if the end user who is implementing that policy is biased against the people who is, then it's the same result.
Right.
So I feel like it's black empowerment, black businesses. Currently, I read a book called Invisible Capital. It mentioned that the demographic that starts businesses most is actually black females. They start more business than anybody else.
Right.
But their businesses fail the most. And it also mentions that white females start businesses the least, but theirs are the most successful business because they have that capital, that hidden capital of community and protection. Okay?
Right.
So what I'm thinking, I don't think you should take money off the table. I think reparations got to be specific to the public, what that black person needs to get to economic independence or to level the field, possibly, with what we always say, with what's accepted as the white family's wealth. Because I believe there was an article the other day that said that average white family is worth like some 52,000, and the average black family is worth really, really like 32 cents, and that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
What I will just hear me out.
Yeah.
You know, if we were to take money off the table, which I disagree with, I think we should receive a financial cash. But what do you think? There's an alternative if you were to clear all debts from student loan, bank account, the credit, whatever. Clear all debts. Increase credit score to 800 for all.
I like that.
Because that can
I
help
like
with
that.
certain things. That's putting us in that top field where
I
it
like
gives us
that.
opportunity
I like that.
to achieve starting a business or
Right.
getting
Right.
that loan or
Right.
whatever. You understand what I'm trying to say? You think
I mean,
that would be a good
that seems
alternative
better-
to?
That seems
better
more equitable,
alternative.
more
And I
fair.
would add to that, give us a house, because a house equals to like that can equal
Generational
to
wealth.
generational wealth.
That's true.
This is
So a lot
ownership.
Of
Yeah, ownership.
yeah. So if you have, like you said, what you said, credit score,
Credit score.
erase debt, and give us a house, I think that will really advance us as a people. You know what I'm
If
saying?
we had to choose one, what would it be? I think erase death.
Erase debt.
Nah, I would say give us a house, because if you erase the debt, people might go right back into debt. You know what
I
I'm
would say
saying?
credit.
I think the
I say
credit,
credit,
because
because
with good credit, it opens a lot of doors.
But if you got debt, okay,
yeah,
and you got good credit, if you can't pay that debt off, eventually it's gonna fall back.
but with
gonna
good
get right
credit,
back into credit.
But if
you're
you
in a better
could be-
position to get a loan.
Correct, because so
True.
if you
I
have
gu- I
good,
guess they're
if
one
you
and
have
the
good
same.
credit and bad debt, which obviously two and two don't go together, right? But if that was the case, eventually, that credit's gonna start declining again.
but either
but
way.
at least you're starting at the top rather than starting at like
Like a low,
Like
you
a
get
low,
better interest rates. You get better
like an
interest
and
rates.
undesirable.
correct. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I see what you're saying.
And on top of that, it having that high credit will help get that house as well.
I think if they provide a house and if they provide you with a job that you can provide and pay the bills for that house, like the mortgage or whatever, I think that sets you up for a longer period of success.
You're asking for a lot.
But that's
They took a lot, so
that's
we need a lot. You know what I mean?
feel
So
you.
I think if you do that sets you up and sets up your family and your kids.
What you said, provide a job, because then you have to go into like all CDA does was give us any job as
Yeah.
qualification. So
What
the
do you
jobs
mean?
that there is,
Yeah.
I would say increase wages.
Yeah, of course they
For-
got
I
they got
I,
to
I
give
don't
that.
think increase
Definitely
wages.
that.
No, don't increase wages.
No?
No, listen, hear me out. Listen,
The government paying
listen.
for it.
This whole wage increase thing doesn't help society. It pushes prices up.
Bro.
You see the prices at McDonald's right now? Look, wages have to be increased naturally by the market.
Why do you
Right,
think
but that's not
inflation
happening.
happens?
Exactly.
So-
because government is interfering with it. Look, whenever government interferes and artificially increases wages against the natural order of society and the market, it causes a hike in prices.
No, you know why though? Like why we said the rich like to stay rich, right? In order for them to stay in power, they have to increase everything else for us to pay, so they can keep the high money.
Exactly.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
But guess what?
They
Nobody in
can increase
capitalism-
wages
Right.
without having to increase the
Okay, but how are you going to tell a businessman?
Prices.
Okay, in a free market system that we have in America, you can't tell somebody, don't make that price that high. You can't tell McDonald's what to sell their burgers at. It's a free market.
I mean,
But
you're
you
right.
can't but if it's unrealistic or unreasonable, like if you're doing it simply for profit, like there has to be a reason for it.
What's the
I'm
purpose
raising
of- okay.
I'm raising the cost of my burger because the
wanna
meat
make money.
costs more.
I want to make money.
But
That's why.
Okay, but you shouldn't be able to do that. That doesn't make any sense.
But that's what America's about, buddy.
I,
What's the
I-
price of
I,
a
un-
Nike?
I
Yeah,
understand
that's what America
that.
That's what
does.
America about.
I
You said
understand
wrong.
that, but that only helps the people who are already there. If we're talking about reparations and trying
But what I'm
to
sa-
help repair things or make things better for the people who were negatively affected, like something has to, things
Yeah,
like that have to be stopped.
But what I'm saying that you can't stop in a free market people from selling things for the price they want to sell it. This is why. Hear me out.
Okay, so
Yeah,
give
hear
me
me out.
more money so I can
government
buy it
can
at
do
the
But
price
if
that
they
you're
give you
selling
more
it.
money, prices are going to go up more.
But the government can subsidize whatever they want to. The government can
If
pump.
they- okay.
But listen, the government can do whatever they want to. We
Not
talk about.
necessarily.
Trust me, man. You heard about these bank failures and bank closures. The government can step in and say they always. If you look at all of the 2008 and too big to fail banks, the government protects those people because you can jump in and they could inject cash where they want to. I was listening to a
They
program
probably
the other
shouldn't
day.
have. I agree with you. They probably shouldn't have.
So they can, if
However-
they want to, they can do that in
But guess
these
what?
scenarios.
But you know the funny thing is? Before the government started giving out student loans, college was so much cheaper. I saw an article the other day, I think a year ago, that says I think 60% of Congress and of our leaders in America paid less than 10% for their college, what we're paying today.
Of course. And that brings
Mitch
up my
McConnell
point.
and all those people.
How-
But what we did is this. Once the government started to give out student loans, colleges started raising their prices because people can get loans. What I'm saying is simply this. If you want to really provide a way for people to build people from the bottom, give them more access to business loans. Why is it cheaper to get a student loan would put you in debt than a business loan to generate wealth.
But that goes back to me and Stefan's point,
I know,
because
in terms
the
of the-
cost of education is going up, but the quality of education is not increasing with it. So, but if we're saying
And
make everything
access to
on
jobs
an
either.
equal playing field, right, with reparation, give us that education, that quality of education, without raising the cost of it,
Okay.
which is the
You think
same
that-
thing.
Okay, you're gonna
But
raise the
but
cost.
America's never going to do that
You're
because
gonna raise the cost.
we know
Let's
who's
look
in
at-
charge.
What you're saying is utopian. I'm keeping it real.
No,
You're
correct.
gonna raise the cost.
That's the ideal world.
It ain't gonna happen in this
I
world.
mean, utopian is actually receiving reparations.
Kind of, sort of.
No,
I
listen,
feel like
reparations
Kurt,
aren't
what-
going
what you
to. I
say,
don't
like,
think reparations
the
would
price
change
is, look,
anything.
you cannot.
as if it's just money.
No,
or
not you
something
cannot.
like that.
I think it's totally unwise to artificially raise wages. Once you start to say you got to pay, if McDonald's got to pay $15 an hour for their employees, they're going to raise the burger price. If you look
Right.
at any of these fast food places now, I remember like probably 5 years ago, $10 will get you 2 meals. It can't get you one today.
Of course, you're right.
Right, but I'm
So-
not. When I'm talking about raising wages or whatever, it's not so I can. It's not so I can buy anything.
no, I agree with you.
I'm saying I should be able to have a job and support myself.
But what I'm saying, the
And that's not
companies,
possible
no, the
right now.
companies got to do that. But once the government starts to do that, once the government put demands on companies, companies pass that demand on to the consumers, and that's what we've always seen. That's what's happening. Once they say you got to do this, you got to do that. If a company authentically and organically decides to make a concession or do something for their employees, then it works because then everybody else is not raising prices.
So, question for you, for everybody, right? Because we know because of the cost of slavery and, quote unquote, white America, they have that long money, right? That family.
a family,
money.
yeah,
The
That
generational wealth.
generational wealth that their kids was able to benefit from. If we were to get reparations, or let's say not like win the lotto, what would you do to ensure that the generation after your kids, your great grandkids are entitled to that money, or they can reap the benefits from you receiving that
Well,
lump sum?
Well, probably because of my background with financial services, one thing I've known about America, a lot of people made money off of World War II with insurance policies on dead soldiers. Made a lot of money. That's why today you cannot insure a soldier. Anybody's in the military, you cannot insure them for no life insurance. Government already got life insurance on them. Now, I feel like one thing that we don't understand is the rules of the game, but we want to play. America is not like many other nations when it comes to money, from what I've learned, like in England, other countries, and legal issues. So one thing I think we need to do, I heard somebody say something, and it sounded kind of funny, but there's some truth to it. If you want to impact a capitalist society, a society which is built on money, you have to affect how they use their money. Some of the wealthiest companies in this nation is insurance companies. They own a lot of things. Why are they being allowed to not pay these policies and not do these things? Because they got lobbyists. They got people in government who they pay to make these laws to support them. Regardless of what we want to do on the base level in terms of raising wages and all that stuff, if you're not impacting the money of the big man, he's not going to change. So to make contingencies for my kids and my grandkids, I'm going to buy land. I think the wisest thing to do is buy land and then have your money in the most safe financial tool that America has always used, life insurance or insurance. That's what America focuses on, insurance. A lot of wealthy people, they have their money in insurance. You have a cash value policy, you borrow from it, take the money out. When you die, guess what happened? I'll give you an example. I have a life insurance policy right now. If I grow $100,000 in it, I can borrow that $100,000, do whatever I want with it. Right? Don't pay it back. When I die, my family pays my debt out of it, and they own the asset. So I take the $100,000 out of life insurance policy, I buy land with it.
Well, you just say your family pays the debt.
After I die.
Like if you have debt,
Yeah,
if I have debt,
they get
yeah,
paid the
yeah,
policy.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So my death benefit is $500,000, right?
Okay.
I have $100,000 in it. I see a piece of land or property for 90 grand. I take 90 grand out of the insurance policy. I buy the land.
Correct.
I don't have to pay that back.
But, okay.
And I own that land. When I die, my family takes my death benefit, pay off all my debts, and they own the land, and they still got money. So that's what we got to learn as a people. We got to learn how to use these financial tools. You see, at the end of the day, in today's world, everything is connected. We got to learn how to use these financial tools at our discretion as Christians and as a men of faith.
Well, what you're saying right now is I don't feel like we need reparations or a big lump sum of money in order to do that. Because I've been
I
sharing
agree.
house right now.
I agree.
So my question
that's
is,
why
with this extra money, what would you do with it?
I do that with it. Because it's a good, because my strategy is a strategy that works without reparations, because I don't think reparations is going to propel us further right now. Personally, I don't think at this stage in my progression as a black man, reparations is going to help me.
You tripping.
No.
Listen, you tripping.
true.
Reparations will help the people with the mind and the know-how and the knowledge.
I don't think it's gonna help me.
Right, how many people are like that, though?
It's gonna help
Well,
me.
just like in everything.
Me.
Some people will rise to the top, and some people are going to fall to the bottom.
I got you.
In everything, in every
making
way of life.
reparations completely pointless. So,
No, how is it pointless? No,
because only some are going to benefit. Like
No,
you just said
everybody,
some rise to the
that's
top,
their choice.
and some sink to the
everybody is
bottom.
going to be. Everybody going to have access to the tools or the money or the whatever
Right.
it is to move yourself into your next phase of life.
But
if
people
you
have that now.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
They don't.
How,
No, they
how
don't.
do I
A
know?
lot of
They
people.
do.
I can
They
go
do.
to college. I can
do.
get a job. I
They
can
do now.
educate myself on anything
They
that I
do.
want to know.
Anything you want.
And if
Anything you want in
any of
America.
it succeeds,
Right.
I can do all the things that you're talking
You're,
about.
you're saying
but
that
reparations
not-
aren't gonna make
not
me do that.
everybody
But a lot
has
of
that
people-
opportunity.
Who don't have
what you
opportunity
just
in
said.
America
Hold on.
to get a student loan?
There's
Come on, listen.
You can
no,
be
hold
homeless
on.
and get a student loan.
Everything in
correct,
America
but what,
is
what,
tied
does that,
to
what
money.
does that put you into?
Yes, but and
Everything in
and
America
everyone
is-
has
But
access
still,
to
once you're
everything.
in
No.
debt, you
Everybody don't
pretty much
have
go down
access.
to
What do
the
I
lower
have?
level
What do I
of
not have
society.
access to?
Paying off the debt. Not
How do I not have access to that? I can't get a job and pay off my debt.
Not,
can't. You're
most
saying
people
that
don't
it's
make
easy
enough
to-
money to pay off their debt.
I
Because
understand
they
that,
spend
but
too
they
much
have,
sometimes.
but they have the ability. They have the access. They
access
can
is
do
there.
that.
Opportunity is
and not,
there.
okay, you have to make a choice. Either you
Yeah.
pay off your debt or you live in a below standard kind of lifestyle.
So do that.
No,
Which-
no, no.
that
But that's
do-
not
which
the point.
doesn't mean it's not
That's
possible.
hold on. That is not how the people that set up America want to live. They don't want to have to choose.
Right,
They
but
want
we're
to
not
have-
talking about
they
the people
want-
who set up
But
America.
that's
We're
how-
talking about us.
That's how we should. No,
But you're saying the fact that we have to make that choice where other
that's the problem.
don't have to
We've
make
been
that
programmed
choice.
to believe that's how we
Okay.
need to live. But you don't. That's not how we're supposed to
But
be living.
reparations is not going to make that better for us now.
What
How?
do you mean?
It'll
How much?
even-
Okay,
it'll even the
no,
playing
You're talking
field.
about okay, guys. You're talking like you live in the sky. Like let's keep.
No,
let's
no,
keep it-
live in the sky.
How
You
much
got hold on.
reparation- okay,
You
how
got
much-
bills to pay.
Yes.
You got if you want a house, if they say okay, we're gonna give you a house, we're gonna give you land, we're gonna give you a job that pays a fair wage or like
I mean,
that
hold on.
that
This,
automatically-
much
this
reparations you
reparation
talking about?
program is
Yeah.
amazing and immaculate. I don't know why we're talking about it.
What
like
you
that,
mean?
There's nothing realistic about what you're saying.
How is that not
a
realistic?
job, a house, what?
All
all
of
of that is
hold
not
on.
going to
If you-
happen
it's
for,
like heaven.
for
No, no,
people.
no.
Right.
If you go back to slavery days and calculate what 40 acres and a mule
I know.
translate that money
Okay.
into
Okay.
today's
now,
money. How
yes.
much that's
Okay.
millions of
Okay.
dollars
No, okay.
probably.
I
So
understand
how is
that,
that
but
not
you,
realistic?
you
Stefan.
can't give that to everybody.
you.
They're
Thank
not
you.
going
You're
to
not
give
gonna
that
No,
to
we just said
everybody.
we're not going to give them cash. We just said that. We
Okay.
said land, we said
Okay.
house, maybe
But the
a
land they
job,
gonna give you.
and good credit.
But the
That's
land they
gonna, that is going to change your life. If
No,
you,
okay.
It
hold on.
absolutely
If we
would,
have access
yes.
to that and you messed it up, that ain't nobody going to feel
But
sorry
we
for
do
you.
that right
Absolutely.
now.
No,
Right,
no,
absolutely.
we not.
No,
No,
we can
not,
we can
Kurt.
bring the back.
Who-
Okay,
No, he's saying we
It's
messed
the
it up
individual.
right now.
We have access to
When-
that.
When
we-
you were
we-
when you
we-
were born,
oh,
you don't
okay.
have bad credit.
Maybe
Okay, in America.
hold on. Maybe
You're
I didn't
born with no
realize.
credit.
Maybe I didn't realize
Okay.
there has been 400 years of slavery.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
And we're
I'll
living
probably
through.
even
No.
more.
Yeah, most people in the minorities don't have that right now.
Okay.
Don't
Whatever
have
that,
what?
we don't got
Okay.
it. We already
Stefan.
been
What
behind.
What is that? What are we talking about?
An equal playing field to access all.
Nobody's
access all
equal
the-
playing field, Andrew.
But you just said we had it.
To
No,
have-
you just said
No,
we
I
had
said
it.
we
We don't
have
have
that-
it.
We have access. Not
We
equal
have
playing field.
access.
I didn't say equal.
It's
okay.
not
We don't
equal
have
footing.
equal.
This is what I'm
we
saying.
don't
Okay,
have
hold on.
equal access.
Hold on. Let me explain to you. You'll never have equal access in anything in this world.
So
period.
why you saying we have it? Then?
But we
don't
have
have
access.
It.
I didn't
no,
say equal
but
access.
We don't have
You
it.
didn't
then.
say
That's the
equal
point.
access.
We
Not
don't have
equal
it.
access.
Access.
I said access, not
Access.
equal.
So
We
that-
never
that-
have
What's the
equal
point?
access.
So what's the
difference.
point? What's the point?
Let me
then?
tell you the point. Hold on. Let me tell you the point. Let me tell you the point. Okay, hear
Having
this out. Hear
access
this.
and equal access.
We never have equal access. We won't never have equal access.
Equal
because
access or equal footing?
We won't have equal footing either. In a basketball court, me and Shaq
That
was
is
equal
the
access to the
point of
basketball rim.
reparations,
Hold on,
Kurt.
hold on.
That is the
Let me
point of
finish.
reparations.
Isn't going to give
no,
us
no.
that.
Hold on. Let me give you an
is.
example. Stephon, let me give you an example.
You're saying we already have access.
We have access. Let me give
What
examples.
reparation
To
will
what?
just do give us equal
It
access.
ain't going to give us equal access.
Why
even
not?
that. Let me
Explain
explain to you.
why.
Okay. Let me use another simple analogy. If we play basketball, and I'm playing with Shaq and Michael Jordan, right?
Yes.
I'm not going to have equal access to the rim as they do. Period. You put me closer to the basket, that don't mean I'm going to score more points than them.
Yes.
It doesn't affect that.
But that
I
don't,
have
that,
to
no,
be
no,
my-
that
hold on,
example
let
don't
me
make no
finish.
sense.
That was a
That
bad
example don't make no
analogy.
No, let me
sense.
finish.
Kurt.
No, let me
Access-
finish.
Well, you start
Hold on,
off wrong.
Stephon. Let me finish.
You start off
Let me
wrong.
finish. For me to have an advantage or access in comparable to them, I have to build my skill. I have to work on me.
No, Kurt.
Let me finish.
No,
Let me
Kurt.
finish. Let me finish. I have to make my shot better than Michael
No,
Jordan.
Kurt.
Let me
That
finish.
means you
Let me-
will always be behind.
No.
That's not
So-
the point of reparations.
You're not
Okay,
hearing me.
so
You're not
that's not the
hearing
point
me.
of
You're
reparations.
not hearing me.
Make it.
You're not-
Let me. If
Make
you
it-
say
use his analogy.
Okay, he
Use
said
that.
he's playing basketball with Shaq
Michael Jordan.
and Michael
They're
Jordan.
taller than me,
And-
right.
and they're playing against you.
They're taller
Yes.
than
So
me.
reparations would be like, okay, you know what, Kurt? We're gonna get you KD and we're gonna get you LeBron.
No.
Of course, that is reparations.
No,
Kurt.
that's not.
How is that not? Hold on. Hold on. Listen. If you are Kurt McNabb playing,
Let's give you another person.
Listen, playing against Michael Jordan and Shaq, you will always be losing. That is what slavery did. You will always lose that game.
Correct.
Right? You
Correct.
all- you-
We're on
yes,
the- we're-
you will
yes.
work on your jump shot.
Okay.
You work on your jump. So you get a little bit closer, but you will always lose at the end. Reparations says, okay, we're going to help you as much as possible, even the plane. Because we're going to have to make up for years of you losing. So we're going to get you Steph Curry. We're going to get you KD, and we're
have
going to
to
get you
put somebody
LeBron.
that's
Now you have a
equally
fighting
talented
chance.
as what
Now
you're
we're going to
up
try to set it up.
Equally
Hold
talented
up.
what?
If you want to mess it up
what you're up
after we give you
against.
KD
To
and
what you're up
LeBron, that's your
against.
problem.
Okay.
That's your problem. But we're going to try to help you
At some
even
point,
out the game.
At some point, I gotta increase my skill level because guess what? Let me finish. I hear what you're saying,
Kurt.
Listen, I hear what you're
You know
saying.
what that is, Kurt?
Listen, hold on. Let me finish. If I get Steph Curry, okay, or KD, and it's 2-2, and I'm missing all the shots still, we're still gonna lose. At some
Why are you
point,
taking the
But
shots?
you
Huh?
were good.
Why are you taking the
Exactly.
shots?
Exactly.
Let me tell you why.
Exactly.
Let me tell because if both of them lock down Steph Curry or we talking about Michael Jordan and Shaq. If both lock down Steph Curry or lock down KD, who gonna take shots on the team? I'm the only person available.
You're
to
going
take
to be
shots.
wide open, bro. You can
Exactly,
make a
but
layup.
no, so my
Make a
point
layup.
is-
Learn
so
how to
no.
make a layup.
And that's what I just said. Did you know what I just said?
So no.
But
I just said that.
You
I just
no,
said
you
that.
just
You
made
did,
his
Kurt.
point.
No,
let me.
listen,
No, you did.
He made my point.
no,
I
you
just
made his
said-
point. I'm explaining
I
why.
just- Let me tell you why. No,
Go ahead.
first. I just said earlier that I got to work
Yes,
on
to
myself.
Work on myself, my skill.
I said work on my
Correct,
skill.
correct.
And you just said learn to make a layup. That's what I just said earlier.
No, so hear me out. So what you just said, if they're locking them down, so you're left alone, you got to work on yourself, right?
Yeah, to get
So
better.
that's still evening the playing field to give you the opportunity to make that shot. What you got to do now, let me finish. Let me finish. It's the same thing as if God gives us gifts. What you do with it is up to you.
Exactly.
He's giving you the opportunity.
The talents that God
Now, what
gave
the
us.
talent that you do
like
with
in the
that
story,
opportunity is
God,
up to you.
one he gave 5, one
I
got
know.
2, one got 1.
But you're
Of
right.
course
You're
we
right.
have
That's my point.
You
But-
have to
but I'm
use that
saying
talent. You
you're
have to use
leaving
that opportunity.
And that's why I said you're leaving out your reparations idea.
But now,
You leave that out.
but
No,
Kurt,
we're
think
not.
about this. Think
No,
about
we're
this.
not.
What if you
They're using
were
the
given
extra
those same
players that
exact?
they're giving you as the reparations.
But
And
Kurt,
I accept. I know that.
But
my
listen to
point is
this.
If I don't know how to make a shot,
All right, listen
it
to
doesn't
this.
matter
Listen
how
to
many
this,
you give
though.
me, I'm still going to lose.
listen,
the game.
listen to this. What if you were given the opportunity, but there was nobody there to block them to even the playing field to give you that shot? That's what reparation is. Reparation is just blocking them out, so now it's even to give you the opportunity to use that talent. That's
But my point
that's
is,
how it'll
I-
help
look,
us.
Look, I'm not saying what I said earlier is that, look, without you learning the skills, reparation is not going to make a difference. And you said, no, it will. Because my point is simply this. It doesn't matter how much you give somebody.
You're
if they're
right.
a
If
fool,
God
like the
gives you a
Bible says,
talent and you don't
the
do
fool
nothing
and his
with
money
it,
will
it's
depart.
a waste.
The fool is, exactly. And that's why I said, if you artificially raise the wages without giving people a skill set on how to use these things, it's going to hurt them because price is going to go up.
You're both right. It will and it won't. It's all going to depend on the person.
Yeah.
That's how it breaks down. So yes, the reparations can help and would help by giving you the opportunity and sort of leveling the playing field. Absolutely. But if you aren't the type of person to take advantage of that opportunity or you waste that opportunity,
That's on
then
you.
it won't. So
That's on
so
you.
so we're all agreed. Reparations will help if you are the right person or if you use it correctly.
Yeah,
So
it depends on
there will be people and there will be places
Like
where
your-
it won't help.
Like your own example, if you win the lotto, we know there's people who win the lotto and they blow the money.
Right.
They don't invest it, they don't do nothing with it, and they blow the money. That's on them. They had the opportunity to change their life drastically, and what they do, they went and bought a Lamborghini instead of a house.
Right.
You
right.
know, that's
So
it's the individual.
and you both are right. But one thing about being behind or being at the bottom, you're not afforded the opportunity to mess up. You see, like how you
That's
said,
true. I agree with you on
if you
that.
get
You're always
I do.
afforded the
Li-
opportunity to
listen
mess
what
up.
listen
No,
what
no.
I'm saying.
What
Listen-
he's saying is,
listen-
I think I know
listen
what
I'm
he's
saying.
saying.
You
You're
see,
more
you
at
see
risk
people at
when
the
you
top.
mess up.
I think I know what
When
he's
you're
saying.
at the top
You
and
have
you
more to
mess up,
lose.
you can fall,
Yes.
but you're not falling all the way to the bottom.
I know,
Okay.
You know, you're not going to get lost, and that's it for you.
But
you see,
even
when
at
you're
the bottom, you can fall.
no,
You can't step on. But what he's trying to say is this. For example, let's keep it real. Myself and George Bush. If I got smoke, when I was his age or in his time, remember they said President Bush was using marijuana
Right.
at one point.
Yeah.
He still was able to go to president of the United States.
Right.
If any record of me of using marijuana, I can't even be a school teacher or cop.
Right.
Much as the president of the United States.
Okay.
So that's what he's trying to say.
because
like,
of
yeah.
access, because of laws, and laws usually favor those in power, and they're against, like you said, they're targeted against us. So all of those things are things that hold us back. You know what I'm saying?
That brings me back to what I was originally saying about policy, not implementing, not trying to create new ones,
But implementing.
or implementing new ones. We need to change the ones that are keeping us back. Because I don't even remember what it was. There was something on YouTube.
I hear what you're saying, but what
where
Chris said
real
earlier-
estate is, there are laws and there are certain things where, like property
I know what you mean,
tax,
Stefan.
whatever it is, like
Correct.
it hurts us. It makes it
Correct,
harder for us
but
to get houses and whatever else.
The
That's
trick
type
is the
of thing that
way
needs
the
to
policy
change.
is written.
Yes.
Because what the policy is a policy, and it can be used against any group of people.
Exactly.
Right.
But who it's targeted against. So
Yeah.
even changing a
Would-
policy
Might not change who's
won't-
talking again.
Won't change what's
Exactly.
happening.
So how
because the way it's
implemented-
written,
Yeah.
that policy could be used the exact way it's written. It could be used against quote unquote white people.
Yeah,
Right,
whatever.
but if you
But because it's targeted-
worded in a way to where it can't target anyone.
But you can't do that.
Of course you can.
Okay.
I mean, then you have to change the policy
You
completely.
can't change, but what I'm saying is this. If you want to, you can write it. If I'm going to be prejudiced against you at the end user end where I'm implementing it, you can't stop that unless you really have a monitoring system for everybody. And that's why we have cops that wear the cameras now.
cameras.
Yeah, the body
Because
cams.
all these things are accountability measures, right? Because at the end of the day, those accountability measures are what we can use to say this person implemented this policy wrong. Because most of the times when I've seen different police videos, the police forces always say, that's not what we teach.
Correct.
That's not what we teach. So therefore, it's not a policy thing. I'm not saying sometimes it is, and sometimes we can prove it. But the argument is always, we don't teach that. Isn't that the argument? So
Correct.
therefore,
It's
what
how
they're
it was
saying is that
used.
we write the policy authentic and fair, but we're implementing it wrong. So the training is wrong. I don't know.
But even to your own point, there's no saying that the training is wrong. That's a choice that the person has made.
That's true.
So, because you can be trained correctly, you know what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
We all have to take a test to drive.
Exactly.
And how many people run lights and don't rolling stops and all of that? That's not a lack of training. That's not a lack of knowledge.
That is so the end user part.
I want to
is
bring
big.
up another question for you because Andrew, you brought up a point earlier about banks closing and stuff, right?
Okay.
So the way society seems like it's going is through digital.
Yeah.
So let's say reparations or whatever, but there was no cash value anymore. It was more digital with cryptocurrency or whatever. How would that be something that you can invest in for kids, for your future generations?
Digital currency.
Digital currency.
Correct.
Cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't just because I don't understand it all and I'm not really interested in putting forth the effort to
I feel that's
figure
something
it
that we
out.
should think about.
Yeah, that's
for-
definitely
Yeah,
something
I mean,
to
I
think
invested
about.
in some
I
cryptocurrency.
mean, but why? How is that more beneficial than regular stocks and
It
things?
Okay,
Just
the
because
growth-
it's the
okay.
way the world is going.
Okay,
to.
right,
this is the
Right
thing.
now, just something I
The
always
volatility makes it lucrative. So I invested in Dogecoin at one point when it was way less than a penny. And it went up, and it was good. But the problem with cryptocurrency is the volatility, right? And the volatility causes problems. So if you invest in cryptocurrency it is best to take the money out and invest in something that is more solid. So what volatility gives you a chance to grow, but after you grow, you gotta
stability.
You gotta get stability. That's right, and that's the irony in life. Like you work hard for the acceleration of growth part, and then you get stability. So I don't think that I think cryptocurrency will always be what it is. I don't think we'll ever get rid of fiat money, like original money, because the problem is your original country's currency cannot be too volatile, and you have a safe country. If your money, it has to be stable. If today a dollar buys you a soda, and tomorrow it buys you a car, or tomorrow it buys you a one candy, it's not a good dollar.
Well, that could bring us to a whole nother topic because of the one world government that's that the Bible talks about. That's topic for another time. We're not going to go into that right now.
But that's going to be crazy.
But I mean, those listening, we're not, advocating either way for cryptocurrency because we're not like financial analysts or anything like that.
No, we're not.
But I think with everything, we're called as Christians to be good stewards of our money, good stewards of our jobs, of our family. So whatever God gives to us, just like the talents, we're supposed to work on it, and invest it and be good stewards of it so we can show God what He has, our return on what He has given to us.
Amen.
Amen. So this was a good episode. It's a little bit fiery, but
good talk.
That's
real
good.
talk.
Leaving in love, leaving with love.
And maybe we can talk about it again in the future. But again, guys, thank you for joining us. If you liked it, if you have more questions, if you want us to talk about anything, please leave it in our comments. But please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys again. And continue to join us as we sharpen each other and we sharpen you on the double edge.